So what is a winter routine in the permaculture orchard? Well, come on with me and find out. Let's go. One of the things I do is I feed the birds. So here's sunflower seed and suet, and I pick up traps that I may have missed during the fall pickup. For those who never learned a trick about how to open a feed bag, you say, well, that's cheating. It tells you open here. There's always a distinction of the stitching. One side has double stitching, so you see that's not a single. And one side has a single stitching. So double, single. And to remember, I like to say, put the bag towards you with the double stitching. So you say, well, I just remember, you ever hear the expression, toodaloo? So I use the expression, to to you, the two stitching to you, left side. So two to you, left side. And if you start here, say, well, yeah, it tells you, okay, you start here, and all you need to do then, just get that first loop, because it's a locked stitch. Get that first one off. And now, say, well, yeah, they tell you to pull here, because that's where you pull. So you pull that single strand, and it will come off. So two to you, starting on the left side. Or, so if it's single side to you, then start on the right side of the bag. Single to you, start on the right. So single right, or two to you, left side. That's my trick of how to open a feed bag. I've seen people so frustrated, and it always comes off. It'll always just come right open. You don't need to don't cut string for a feed bag. That's very noob. If you're a homesteader, if you're raising some birds, or even just feeding wild birds, use that trick to always remember how to open a bag very, very simply. Two to you, left side. This suet feeder is still quite full. They've just discovered it. I just put this up last week for the first time. So it's a new suet feeder. It takes them a little longer to find. It's not every bird that eats suet. And so sometimes it'll just take a bit. Be patient with suet feeders. So in this case, suet, and suet is good for the chickadees. It's good for the woodpeckers. It's good for the nuthatch. And I think it's good because I saw lots of tracks below here. It's probably good for the ravens, and a raven will definitely not pass up that big morsel of fat. That'll keep a raven fed for a few days, just in energy. I see you. You're looking, eh? You want some seed. Come on, let me close it. I'm gonna squish you. There. Better? You happy? Don't go in the bag to get it. If there's a feeder here, in this case I put a suet feeder right there, and they'll come for both suet and the seed at once. It just makes it easier logistically to come and just do a whole feeding station. And this will be moved through the orchard. It was at the very end. This has come about 100 feet, and it will go further. It will go down this lane. So we'll put it 100 feet down there, and probably once more, yeah, 2 times. And then it will go over by 100 feet and start coming back during the winter down that way. So in that way we cover this whole block with feeders. Need a knife to cut these apart. Downy woodpecker. Now, if you observe the chickadees, they're still eating some. Some of them are still eating, but many of them are just going and storing it. So see, that one went to that tree over there. Oh, I can hear it eating it still. But that's what you do. Just watch them where they're going. Yeah, that one's still eating. That one's still eating. They're still in their 10 seed quantity that they're looking to eat. Once they finished eating, watch where they go and you'll see. See that old bark nooks and crannies? Lots of places for them to hide in there. Lots of places. Oh, here's a good spot right there. And that's what they're looking for. And if you look closely, sometimes near a feeder, you will actually see the sunflower seeds tucked into those same little spots. Most of our work in the winter is not even outside in the orchard, it's indoors. So it's a great time to plan, to reflect, to think what you did, what you didn't do, what you could have done faster, better, cheaper. That's a very important time. Go see that video, Our Unfair Advantage. If you're in a climate where wintertime is an off time, then that is an advantage. Come on. So, yes, in the permaculture orchard for the winter, it's really a much more relaxed time. Feeding the birds, doing some pruning. The pruning season is really late winter, early spring here as much as possible. So get out in your orchard and enjoy the season. Enjoy the birds. Feed them. If you don't have a project, take the winter to dream about what it could be, how you could have the abundance. What would it take? Where do you start? What do you need to know to get started? Just take steps to work towards the realization. Because when it's done and you start eating of the abundance, you go, you know what? Probably you'll say, I should have done this earlier. But that's okay. Earlier is better, but getting it done later is better than not getting it done at all. Make it a point. This year, where are you going to get to by the end of the year? How far are you going to move your project ahead? It's the start of a new year. It's a great time to plan, hope for, make commitments to moving your project ahead. Better fill up this feeder. Intrigued? Check out the virtual tour of the Permaculture Orchard. Have trees already? Pruningcourse.com. Subscribe, please. Check out some of the other videos or playlists. There's more to come. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. The birds thank you. See you next week. Bye. Most of our work is not even in...